I'm Mike Martin, I'm the Membership Secretary of the GTF.
Well, I'm Mike Mayer and I'm also the Chair of the Garden Committee.
My name is Charles and I've been here since about the same time last year, so for a year.
I'm Nicolette.
My name is Frances Robey.
Billy Hardy.
Bert Logie, and I've been in allotments since the very beginning.
This is my third year of doing this, and it's my fourth year of being in the garden. I'm an incomer to the town, and this has been a great way to anchor me, to help me integrate into the forest and the surrounding area.
My wife and I moved to Forres about four years ago, and quite quickly we heard about the allotments here. So we come along and there was a space and we got one almost immediately, and we've been here ever since and we've loved it.
And I've had this patch since May, so there was nothing here, and I did a lot of digging to start off with.
I live up the road, about a 10-minute walk from here. I've been on this allotment since 2009, right from the beginning really.
10, 11 years on. And first of all, I was in number 2. When I did leave school first, I was in the chemist shop, message boy, in the High Street in Forres. And probably the thing that uppermost in my mind was the message boys on the shops got half day on a Wednesday, and all my friends had Saturday off. So I said, this is not for me. So that started me in the gardening.
I've been here 8 years in the polytunnel, in the pods, yeah.
The benefits from having an allotment are huge. It gets you out into the fresh air, you get to meet people, and it's good for your health, both physically and mentally.
I find that you come down here and you spend as much as a few minutes, and you start to just feel relieved of what's bothering you, what's in your mind, or this or that. You come away at the end of the day feeling a million times better.
Just being amongst people who sort of let you get on and do your thing, you know, and without sort of going, what are you doing?
It just gave me connection again with other people working on the land and producing food, and it's just been lovely being here.
It's been a huge benefit to me. In the first place, organic vegetables are quite difficult to get, or were when I started, and quite expensive to buy. And growing one's own, there's nothing like it. You know, going to pick your own vegetables and eating them the same day, it's just magical.
Oh, it's seeing things grow more. It's wonderful when you can plant a corm about this size and you get beautiful colours coming up out of the soil.
It's good for your mental health, I'm sure, if you want to put it into that framework. I've noticed that in other people as well. I see people's eyes light up, I see them different, just see their whole approach different, and there's been people come here who have come here with looking, it's almost like a refuge in a kind of a way, you know?
Just love coming down here.
So what do you love about it?
Peace and quiet, you know? Nobody seems to bother you, and I just love my gardening and do what I'm doing, you know? It's just lovely down here.
Over the last 4 months with COVID, it's been even a greater benefit. People have so much enjoyed getting out. We're very lucky to be able to work in such a lovely environment during the time of COVID.
Everyone who was fortunate to have an allotment here, a pod here, had we had a kind of positive sort of goal to aim for, like we do every season, in terms of preparing your plot and planting out seedlings, etc. And well, not only that, we had the kind of comradeship and the socialisation even at a distance.
I had a couple of people that would come visit me, and so obviously they couldn't come anymore, but being down here just made up for that.
So it actually really saved me in lockdown, because everyone gets very insular, and being outside is just really good.
You can safely interact by keeping a distance. So coming down on various days, I could be seeing 10, 12 people and have endless social contact.
During the lockdown, especially the beginning, that road was so quiet. It's unbelievable.
It's been especially meaningful to me during the lockdown period, and my world has kind of shrunk down to my home and my garden and the local shops, and that's it, more or less.
I wouldn't have had such a purpose and a drive to actually get out and be active and really, let things grow and have that as a real positive force.
Not to have this, I would have felt much more locked down, as it were.
It's just being in a community situation rather than sort of isolated, I think. And having a green space like this is huge. It's a huge benefit.
This garden is strictly organic, so no pesticides or artificial fertilizers are allowed on the plot.
I've got my main kale for the winter as well here, my courgettes and my beans. I've got different gourds actually. I've got some ornamental gourds I didn't know if they would happen. I've got pumpkins coming.
The first thing I took home the first season were some early crop potatoes, so having just a small helping of tatties to take home and cook and eat, was exciting in itself.
Potatoes, beetroot, leeks, parsley, tomatoes, Napolitano, carrots, strawberries.
It's not been subject to chemicals and packaging and transportation, and it's so fresh, so you're getting all the benefits, health benefits, really first-hand,
The Rudbeckia, a reliable favourite, where at the flower show it can make up any arrangements.
I suppose it's just playing and getting a mini sort of maca going, full of all the tiny little plants that like to grow in the grass. And then I've got a bug stroke fairy house for the little people. I don't know who's living in it.
To try and see ways we could get more of the public, the general public in the wider sense, involved and interested. It's actually quite remarkable how uncomplicated it is. And not only that, the kind of network of people here are very, very keen and able to help and advise, but in a very low-key way.
I came too late to grow root crop, but people were kind. They gave me a potato plant that I could then put in, and then I realised I could put in potatoes. You can be spontaneous, potatoes that are sprouted in my kitchen, and I put them in bags first because I hadn't known what space I had, and then I just transplanted them back into the ground, so I'll have a later crop of potatoes now. So that's being spontaneous, being able to experiment, and there's nothing really wrong, you can't really go wrong.
There's a willingness to help and to be cooperative, and that's very much a part of being here.
There's been plants to swap and plants to give to others if you've had too many, because we all have a bit of luck with one thing and not another.
The new people coming along quickly are kind of assimilated into the whole garden that way. I've seen them, and then I look round and the next thing they've been talking to 2, 3, 4, 5 different sets of people within minutes, from being a stranger.
I like to see the new ones starting and seeing something grow.
I couldn't remember what it was like picking things for your own meal, and actually it felt quite holy eating it. It was, you know, it was fresh. I knew where it come from. And it was just such a sense of achievement. Really wonderful.
I like the wildlife as well, you know. Not so keen on the rabbits because they can damage a lot of stuff, you know, but otherwise the birds and, you know, amazing, really is amazing down here.
So have your porridge in the morning and get you fit for the day.